Kremlin propaganda constantly tries to convince citizens that Russia retains influence in the world, but proving the existence of allies is becoming more and more difficult, because even the leaders of the countries that were part of the USSR now often refuse to visit Moscow. On May 31st, the president of Eritrea, one of the poorest and most undemocratic countries in the world, met with Putin. Now propagandists say that all of Africa is for Russia. Only the largest states of the continent, in fact, are trying to distance themselves from the Kremlin. Thus, the main opposition party of South Africa went to court to force the government to arrest Putin if he arrives in the country.
The Democratic Alliance is seeking this decision in order to ensure that there is no legal uncertainty regarding the procedure to be followed and the obligations imposed on the state if President Putin sets foot on the territory of South Africa. Glenis Breitenbach, Shadow Minister of Justice, Party Democratic Alliance, from the publication in The Voice of America.
Moscow has become toxic to its former allies. The West makes it clear. Sitting on two chairs will not work. Thus, in response to Georgia's decision to resume air traffic with Russia, the ambassadors of 27 EU countries announced an official démarche to Economy Minister Levan Davitashvili. The European Union is disappointed by Tbilisi's rejection of the joint policy with Brussels of limiting the Kremlin.
We informed Davitashvili that we are disappointed by the decision of the Georgian government to resume direct air traffic with Russia. We also expressed our concern about the fact that this decision contradicts our determination to isolate Russia and put pressure on Russia so that it changes the course of the cruel aggressive war it is still waging in Ukraine. Pavel Hirchinsky, ambassador of the European Union to Georgia, in a comment to journalists.
Germany decided to radically reduce the number of diplomatic missions in the Federation, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Norway stated that NATO countries will not allow Russia to influence the decision on Ukraine's accession to the alliance. According to experts, this indicates a growing international tendency to abolish Russia.
Я думаю, тут большую роль также сыграл.
I think that Zelensky's tour of European countries, communication with representatives of the authorities, and accordingly, already such rhetoric which is said by Zelensky, also played a big role here. And greater consolidation of resistance to Russia is precisely one of the reasons why such great efforts are being made to resist Russia.
Meanwhile, Ukraine, together with its Western allies, is working on the organization of a new international peace summit, the Wall Street Journal reports. It is expected that the event will be held before the NATO summit in Vilnius. Moscow is not invited to a meeting. Reported by Sergei Kulyas, Danilo Kobza, UATV News.